You don't have a roadmap, you don't have all the answers, and yet your team is looking to you. In uncertain times, real leadership isn't about knowing what's next. It's about knowing how to show up when no one does. So in this video, I'm giving you the mindset, the tools, and the energy to lead when the future is unclear. Let's dive in. The reality is, uncertainty is not the enemy. Inaction is. So many leaders freeze because they think they need certainty in order to step forward. But here's today's reality. Uncertainty is a constant, okay? It is a constant. And when you are being still or silent or inacting in the face of it, that's gonna fuel distrust, it's gonna fuel disconnection and disengagement. So really what your team needs in these times is presence, not perfection. I'm sure you can relate to this. Have you ever been going through a really challenging time when you certainly didn't have all the answers, you didn't know what was coming next, and how good it feels when a good friend will just sit and be with you and just share time and space with you, just holding that space? That is the support. That is what you need. So as a leader, it's not a help to always have the answers. Sometimes it's just about being present, just being there for your team when times are uncertain. So now let me break down 3 anchors, 3 ways to really ground you when leading through inevitable uncertainty. The first being to name the moment, right? And this is a big part of you showing your presence. Everyone knows that things are uncertain. There's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of ambiguity. So just name it. Look, there's difficult times we're going through right now. Even as your leader, I don't have all the answers. My leaders don't even have all the answers. So I just want to state what's real and I want to give language to it, right? So that's the first opportunity, is to name the moment. Don't sit through meetings, don't sit through one-on-ones, seemingly blind to the fact that things are so ambiguous and there's a lot of uncertainty going around in the organization. Bring it to light, right? And that's, again, a good part of you being in the room and sharing your presence. The next is to strive to create that psychological safety. And one of the best ways to do that is to focus on what is true. Like, what do we know? This reminds me of when I was an executive and we were going through an acquisition. Our business was being acquired by another huge corporation. And when we first got the acquisition announcement, there were so many unknowns. There were so many questions. The announcement came, and of course, my people are asking me all these questions. And I would have to tell them, look, I don't have answers to this, but what I can tell you is what we know. And so what became a regular drumbeat during our weeklies is just reviewing, here's what I know. And oftentimes I was repeating what I just said the week before, but at least I was creating that safety to share, here's what we know is true. And a large part of that conversation was about, the things that we will remain to value, which is their energy, their effort, their expertise, as well as the belief in the products that we were delivering to our customers. That will always hold true. And so we were able to put our focus and our energy into that. And of course, a part of these conversations, I already practiced the first step that I gave you, which is naming the moment. So we always would take a moment to talk about naming the emotions, the feelings that people were experiencing as we're moving through, the acquisition, getting closer and closer to our close date. The third anchor is to invite co-creation amongst your teams, amongst your peers, amongst even your key stakeholders. One question that can be really powerful in doing this is, what do you need most right now? And of course, it can't be answers to questions that you don't have answers to, but it might be other things that they need as it relates to support. So ask that question, what do you need most right now? And the other question is, and this is can really help you co-create something exciting, where can we experiment even without all of the information? Now, of course, you want to do this in a safe way. You want to do this in a way that's not completely misguiding the team, but do it in a way where they can feel engaged, where they can feel a part of creating the vision moving forward. And it starts getting some of that anxiety, some of that nervous energy somewhere to go by getting creative and experimenting where it's possible. Now that we're good on the anchors as you're stepping in to lead through times of uncertainty where there's a lot of ambiguity, the other thing that I would offer you is the power of leading with your emotional energy as opposed to strategy. Now, just hold on for a minute. Don't let me lose you yet. There is such power in understanding how your energy influences those around you. Because ultimately we're emotional beings and we're all energy, just vibing, right? And so as you think about what people follow, whether they be your direct reports, whether they be just your teammates, people follow energy. They don't necessarily just strive to look to follow strategy. So that's about being aware of the energy that you're bringing into the space, especially when times are uncertain and you don't have all the answers and you might be stepping into the space thinking, oh my goodness, these people are going to ask me more questions that I do not have the answers to. And so maybe you're walking in feeling some level of defeat. Speak that into existence. Tell them, you know what, you all, I'm having a really trying time because there's so much ambiguity. There's so much knowledge that I wish I could tell you that I'm not able to bring to you. So it's creating, and name the emotion that you're feeling. But then with that, the confidence that we will get through it. The confidence that you will keep stepping one foot over the other and that you're better together. Right? And it's really powerful, especially when you're in a position of leadership, for you to state and own that emotion, because then you can start resonating with those in the room who might be feeling something similar, right? They're also feeling a bit of anxiety. They're also feeling a bit of fear. Now they're seeing your humanity. You're sharing your humanity, and that binds, right? That binds, and that invites them to want to follow you. This reminds me of when I was working in corporate and I had a leader who's one of the favorites that I've ever had. And we were going through a really, really challenging initiative. And there were a lot of unknowns because we're bringing a new product to market, a brand new innovation, and it included development of a new material that had never been used before. So there was all kinds of uncertainty, so many questions, a lot of challenges in this initiative. And I remember there was an announcement that was made about the status of the material development. And it was a delay in delivering what we needed to actually do our product trials. And so we're all sitting in the room together. The announcement comes through. We all kind of read it together. And my manager reads it. He leans back. He takes a deep sigh and he says, "This sucks." He stated the moment. He named the moment, "This sucks. I'm having a hard time with this. I'm sure this is coming as a surprise to you all as well. You know what, y'all? Let's just take a beat. Why don't we all go out to lunch?" And that's what we did. We all went out to lunch together. It was an opportunity for us to bind, to bond with each other, sharing that authentic energy, us all being able to voice our responses and our reactions to the news. And our manager was sitting there with us. And man, the energy that he cultivated in doing that. Now, of course, once we got back to the office, we then started ideating, what are the implications of this? He's trying to get his communications plan together. But because he took a beat, named the moment, and flexed really strong emotional intelligence in taking us to that lunch and allowing us to kind of share our responses to it, we came back so cohesive and so ready to follow him wherever he wanted to take us. It is a very powerful thing. And now the best part, the freebie. There's a link below where you can download a free chapter from my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm, How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. It's all about a mindset that's going to help you maneuver through times of great uncertainty that are inevitable for all of us. And it's yours for free. Just click the link below. Until we meet again, I want you to keep growing. Keep staying curious, asking those questions, naming those feelings, those emotions, coming to know yourself and knowing those around you. And of course, keep rocking.